Hello, everybody, and welcome back. And thank you for being as awesome as you are. Today, we have a variety of subjects to deal with, but in my opinion, it all comes down to the very same thing. So let's start with the supposed call or meeting with Tom Holland and Zendaya. Now, I guess most of you will know that Tom and Zendaya are the stars of the new Spider-Man No Way Home movie, which made $1.74 billion since its release on December the 16th at the box office. It would thus be fair to say that they are the it couple in Hollywood terms at the moment. Now, the first question would obviously be why on earth Harry and Meghan would want to contact Tom and Zendaya. It is really not like they have anything in common as people. Tom and Zendaya are only 25 years old, whereas Harry is in his late 30s and Meghan in her early 40s. But that is not how Megsy Daisy would see it, is it? No, of course not. Because regardless of all her preachings, and unlike all of us, Megan is race obsessed. And therefore, I can guarantee you that for Megan, poor Tom and Zendaya are just like her and Harry, as Tom is white and British, and Zendaya mixed race and American. I imagine that Megan thought it was her duty to contact Tom and Zendaya to offer her advice and support, particularly because they are now moving to Britain. I also think that another reason is because Tom and Zendaya are now trending. And as always, Meghan and Harry are always ready and waiting and very, very eager to jump on the first bandwagon coming along. Without a doubt, they would also like a bit of Tom and Zendaya's stardust to rub off on them as they, Harry and Meghan, are now tanking faster than a ship on the ocean with a hole as big as a football field in its hull. The commentary and criticism of Joe Rogan and Spotify did them no favors, not among the public or in show business. However, what concerns me about this reaching out by Harry and Meghan is not the bandwagon. They have fallen off so many before. It's not the stardust. They are so tainted that no amount of stardust can light their bushel ever again. But what really concerns me is the fact that it has just reached mainstream media that Tom and Zendaya just bought a £3 million home in London, or to be specific, Richmond in southwest London. The six-bedroom property is currently undergoing renovations to add a gym, a cinema, games room, and sauna. Tom already owns an apartment in London and Zendaya a home in Los Angeles. So I have this feeling in the pit of my stomach that where Megan is concerned, there may also be some jealousy, although she will hide it behind a fake smile, etc., etc. But here's a young couple, 25 years old, very successful, owning multiple upmarket properties, and here is Meghan Markle in her 40s, no major successes, more notorious than famous, and with only one home. That is, if they even own that home. And what else is there about Meghan Markle? Zilch? Nothing. She must be feeling a little green, if not a lot. And therefore, I'm rather nervous about her getting involved with this rather young and sweet looking couple. As we all know, Megan can be very manipulative and sneaky, and a stirrer par excellence. Most people, however, are of the opinion that Harry and Meghan are eager to persuade them to take part in one of their media projects. Oh my word. I pray that someone who has contact with Tom and Zendaya will manage to persuade them not to do it. We don't want them markled, okay? Many people also believe that the meeting between the couples did not even take place and that it is only another one of Meghan's porkies. But a source told Mail Online that it did indeed take place and that the couples met at Harry and Meghan's Montecito mansion. Apparently, Tom was rather bemused by the invitation as he never met either of the Harkles before. But wait, I'm jumping the gun a little. We have speculated about Harry's immigration status or his visa type for ages now. And even though I believe that Harry is being protected under the current regime in the United States, I also believe that they can only push their luck so far and no further. It is common knowledge that the Harkles still have a lease on Frogmore Cottage until end of March this year. To date, Frogmore Cottage is still Harry and Meghan's fixed address in the United Kingdom, even though they have not lived there in 2 years and all their personal belongings have been removed ages ago. Well, regardless of that, it is still their domicilium in England on paper, and this has tax implications and implications for Harry's United States visa. But what are they going to do about it? To date, and regardless of numerous efforts to get to the truth, no one is 100% sure what type of visa Harry is on, which allows him to purchase a property, that is, if it is theirs, start numerous businesses, and work at Better Up. Or are all of this in Meghan's name? Now, how dumb would that be? Anyway, let's leave that alone. I know many of you will say, but wait, bookworm, the property is in a trust. Yes, my dears, but there is a mortgage, and with a mortgage comes personal responsibility. And through a court order, the humans behind the trust can be liquidated to fulfill whatever shortfall or debts incurred by a trust, even though that would be the very last resort. Yeah, but bookworm, the companies are LLCs with Americans as directors. I mean, we're now talking about the business manager, accountant, and lawyer. Well, Orinoco Publishing was specifically set up for Harry's book. So Harry's potential income will go there, regardless of who the directors are. It is still Harry's money, and he will still have to declare income from it. So, no matter how you look at it, Harry has a problem. And now I'm asking you, my brilliant subscribers, is this perhaps why he is so desperate to make peace with Daddy and to visit the UK? Is this perhaps why Harry and Meghan are reaching out to Tom and Zendaya? Do they desperately need buddies in the United Kingdom? Maybe someone who could look out for a nice upmarket property in London. Someone they can be neighbors with? I'm just asking. Remember the days when their PR spun it that they were looking to buy or build something near the Beckham's Cotswolds estate, the one near their beloved Soho farmhouse? Are they trying to pull this once again? But this time they want to be neighbors with the currently trending couple. Whatever the case may be, Harry and Meghan obviously have some kind of plan, and whatever that devious plan may be in the long or short term, it would be advisable for Tom and Zendaya to stay as far away from it as they can possibly get. Okay, the next thing in the news concerning the deplorables is a hint or a rumor that Meghan will revive her blog, The Tig. Well, let me tell you a little about The Tig. Firstly, I have a whole data dump on The Tig on my old laptop. So it's not a joke if I tell you I know The Tig and all the posts on there only too well. And I must tell you, it is a few hours of my life I'll never get back again. Quite rightly, Megan calls it a lifestyle blog, but on deeper inspection, it can also be called a freebie blog. Because you see, that is what it is all about. Each entry on the blog is about what Megan ate and where, what Megan wore, including the brand names, where Megan went, and what it was like. Everything about Megan was on there, from the slippers she wore to the doormat she bought, who she was hanging out with, that is, mostly so called friends, who are celebrities, being the only ones making the cut. However, do not confuse the TIG with her other media accounts, like her TIG Instagram page, etc., etc. The TIG blog was mostly for reviews on things and places, and thereby scoring Megan freebies and sponsorships and perhaps a dollar or two in ad revenue. On the TIG blog, Megan wrote long, sometimes emotional pieces about her family and younger life, but she also wrote glowing reviews on products and places. And don't let anyone fool you. The TIG was not just an online diary for Megsy. Megan's characteristic word salad was all over the TIG blog, particularly in the interview section where she interviewed the likes of the Beckerman sisters, Emmy Rossum and Wes Gordon, etc., etc. However, to jump from interviews to beauty products to holiday spots, hotel and restaurant reviews to personal musings was just way too much for me and literally did my head in. Yes, I know she called it a lifestyle blog, but in retrospect and looking at the TIG from a psychological aspect, one can already analyze Meghan's psyche and nature before she even got involved with Harry. On the TIG, regardless of her calling it a lifestyle blog, she jumps from one thing to another, from makeup to socio-economic issues to personal issues, from holiday destinations to childhood memories, from clothing and fashion to interviewing the rich and famous. Meghan is unable to stick to one thing. She is unable to organize her thoughts, her mind, and ultimately her life. She is greedy and wants it all, but because she is unable to master one thing at a time, she does not have major success in anything, but instead maintain this sort of mediocre balance in most things. But let's skip that for now and look at the TIG versus royalty. When Meghan married Harry, or before they got married, she had to shut down the TIG. For the uninformed, there was a very good reason for this. First and foremost, as royalty, you have to be neutral and not favor one person or one political party or even one business over the other, nor do you take sides on controversial subjects. The other major issue would have been the freebies Meghan loved so much. As a royal, Meghan was not allowed to use her social standing to promote products, places, or services. And as you can see from what I'm putting up in this video, that was what the TIG was all about. Royals are also expected to pay for their clothes, their makeup, their skin products, food, and services, be it hairdressing services, household services, or even medical procedures and services. Of course, this was not always the case with Meghan's The Tig. She was given products to showcase. She was invited to places and expected to write reviews in return, etc., etc. Now, this is not allowed in any royal household. Members of the royal family are not allowed to accept a gift from the public valued at more than £150. Gifts like jewelry, etc., from other heads of state never really belongs to the royal family member it was gifted to, but instead they are just responsible for it during their lifetime. But when they die, or in between when they're not using it, it is returned to the monarchy. But I will explain that whole procedure in another video, okay? Well, some of you I know are now asking me, so why were some of Diana's jewelry given to her sons? Well, you see, that is different. Some of it belonged to her before she got married, some of it was gifted to her by her husband, and some of it she bought herself. Those items had nothing to do with her role as princess, but were personal items, the same as stuff that belonged to Meghan before she married Harry, or gifts that he bought her. Those are her personal property. Anyway, as a royal, Meghan would never have been allowed to use her role and title to score jewelry, makeup, clothing, shoes, and accessories. It would have been seen as an abuse of her position. But here we are. The TIG is once again being trademarked under the holding firm from Fram. Yes, you say. But they are no longer working royals, so she can do what she wants. No, no, no. Not true. She is still Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, still a princess of the United Kingdom, and still on the royal website, and therefore all the rules which apply to other royals still apply to her. So what are the royals going to do? My guess would be nothing, as always. But here we now have a fundamental problem, and let me explain. To prove to you that I carefully read the policy on receiving gifts, I will actually post the real document here. You can enlarge your screens and read it for yourselves. But I will quickly read a few highlights from it as far as it concerns Meghan and the TIG. Under clause 2.1, no gifts, including hospitality or services, should be accepted which would or might appear to place the member of the royal family under any obligation to the donor. Under 2.2, gifts from businesses should normally be declined unless they are offered as a souvenir of an official visit to the business premises. When gifts are accepted, the consent of the member of the royal family should be contingent upon the enterprise undertaking not to exploit the gift for commercial purposes. Under 2.4, gifts from individuals not known to the royal family. Gifts in this category may only be accepted in the following categories. 1. Flowers, food, or consumable gifts. copies of books from the actual author. 3. Other items of small monetary value costing less than £150. So there you have it, dear friends. If Meghan Markle wishes to reinstate her blog, The Tig, she will not be able to run it like she did before. She will not be able to accept expensive freebies like she did before, unless she asks her husband to abdicate as the Duke of Sussex and ask his family to remove them from the royal website. If they don't, and she does, then the royal family and parliament will be well within their rights to remove their titles for abuse of those titles and power. So there you go. Go for it, Mexie, please. This time, the royal family can be silent. Your father-in-law can jump through hoops and do what he wants. But we'll start a brand new campaign to have those titles removed on the basis that you are using the titles to abuse your power and your titles in order to gain money and gifts. So, dear Megan, watch this space and good luck with your endeavor. Okay, friends, this is it for today. I again am stuck in a deep, deep, deep rabbit hole. And in the next video, we will continue in the same trend, starting again with royal gifts and other royals, and moving on to investments and other holdings within the royal family. So until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.